Silver's on the scene, Tuesday, November 5th. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. Disclaimer, IMO allegedly, and IMO in my opinion. Everything you see in this video is alleged and in my opinion. Nothing is a fact. Please don't take it as a fact. Do your own research. It is all an opinion. Hope you enjoy the video. As we've said many times before, if we had the facts, this boy, Sebastian Rogers, say his name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. If we had the facts, this boy would be at home. He would be at home. We're working off all types of opinions, theories, tips, leads, because the question remains, where is Sebastian Rogers? Where is Sebastian Rogers? Gone. 8 months and 10 days. Tuesday, November 5th. 8 months and 10 days. 253 days. Vanished from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. No one's seen anything. How did he get out of the house? Where did he go? Where is Sebastian Rogers? Say his name. Say his name. And as we search to find him, this clue, that clue, this theory, that theory, watch out for the distractions and let there be no distraction in finding Sebastian. All right? So what we want to discuss in this video, Sebastian Rogers, the Oregon lead, RV park, $175,000. We're going to look at the map. We're going to be thinking outside of the box. So you see it right here, and let's throw up the big one here so we can see it big. $175,000 reward. Now, if you're following the case, you know that all the way up till the end of August, Sebastian Rogers gone since February 26th. March, April, May, June, July, and pretty much the entire month of August. 6 months gone, no reward. No reward. We did a video on the channel about why no reward for Sebastian Rogers. Then the FBI steps up and says, hey, $50,000 reward. A week later, Nick the Hat, Dog the Bounty Hunter, at night, get together, boom, take that that 50,000 to 100,000. A week or so after that, another 25,000, where it has been for the last couple of months. And then as of yesterday evening, $175,000. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start by saying 6 months, no reward. Okay, we just said 8 months, 10 days. So 2 months, 10 days ago, no reward for 6 months. And I want to thank everybody who's been out there searching, posting, saying his name, doing the things to keep his awareness alive. You're doing it. Those same people are still doing it. And they were doing it without a $175,000 reward. They were doing it with a $0 reward. Other people, for whatever reasons, may or may not want to get involved or have so many commitments they can't. And it's, the little thing about Silvers is when I get involved on something, I'm committed to it. And if I see down the road that I cannot give my full commitment to it as much time as I can, then I typically back away because I don't want to barely work on it. And it's difficult sometimes in Sebastian Rogers because, as you know, the full-time commitments I have with a full-time job, family, and all the different things, right? But I put as much time in, and I've been doing that as well as many, many others, and thank you, you know who you are, trying to find this boy. Well, now there's $175,000. So this is what, please listen to me here. That can help your life, that can change your life. Think about you saying something you may already know. Going to a location you may already know. Bringing this boy home, even though for whatever your reasons, we don't need to know them. You didn't feel compelled to do so until now. $175,000 could help you a lot. Think about the life changing. Get you out of debt. Help your bank account. Help your situation. But most importantly, at the same time, help Sebastian's father. Help Sebastian's family who are missing him 8 months, 10 days. 8 months, 10 days. 253 days gone. So, not going to discredit you, not going to dislike you, not going to do any of that. We're going to applaud you and pat you on the back. And so what? It took 8 months and 10 days and $175,000. We bring him home. This is real money, folks. This is real money. If you know where Sebastian is, go get him, bring him home. If you know someone who may be holding him, if that's the case, convince them to bring him home. If you know, allegedly in my opinion, where he may be located if he's no longer with us, reveal that information. It's time to bring this boy home. So, rewards, the big news just happened over the last 24 hours. An amazing amount of money. Motivation. If there wasn't motivation before, go find Sebastian Rogers. So where does that take us now? We're also learning, and I want to say credit to Crime Time Buzz. Jay is doing phenomenal work here. She's getting the information. She's putting it up as soon as possible. I think I've heard her say, I don't know her personally, been a couple of emails, but she has a job as well, full time. So she's getting that information out there as soon as she can. And this Oregon lead is huge, ladies and gentlemen. It's huge. And she's put it out there. I'm going to leave that link to that video. There's actually 2 out now, so I'll put them both in. Link to her last 2 videos from yesterday and today about this Oregon lead, okay? And I can tell you without telling you a lot of information that whom I've been contacted with, she is correct when she says, and you can watch her video and see that. I just want to add a little bit to it. I'm not taking anything away from hers. She's got that information, reporting on it. Go listen to these videos, link in the description, and I can tell you personally, I can verify what she's saying, that they're taking this serious. And that's personally within me, knowing what I know and the sources I speak to and the people I speak to, they are taking this serious. So what we want to do is we want to look at the map. Think outside the box, right? So let's jump into that. Much like what we did with the post, right? We want to jump in and see what is in that area, all right? Then we'll talk about distraction. Say his name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, right here. It's all about finding Sebastian. So I want to jump in now to Google Maps, right? Google Maps, you can see I've already got it pulled up. 382 Church Road, okay? So what we want to do here is, when I see Jay's video, Crime Time Buzz, and she's talking about a location, the name itself, Silver's on the scene, okay? So my investigative techniques, really simple, basic, logical, okay? And it's something happened at 182 South Street. Then guess what? To start your thought process, go to 182 South Street. And in this case, it's 382 Southwest Church Road. So, Ford's Pond. So when Jay starts telling us this information and reading this report, check it out in the link in the description below. Check her videos out. Check her channel out. When she starts telling this, the first thing that comes to my mind, other than listening to the report, is boom, as soon as she reads the report, I jump into the map. I jump into the map, the scene. Putting myself at the scene. And when I do that, a couple of things stand out. Of course, the Forge Pond. That's what we were talking about in the report, where allegedly CP and KP, along with a couple others, approached a particular person, had conversations. Okay. Well, the next thing that stands out when I look at this pond is I go, what's around it, right? And you see kind of a lot of open land. I don't know anything about Oregon, right? But kind of an open, I consider this like flat land, whereas here you see some trees. But before I get over there and talk about this, look at this. Look what pops up. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. RV. This is an RV park, ladies and gentlemen. What is this case surrounded? RV, RV, RV. This particular park, just a little history on it here as I looked it up. It's a KOA park. Those are nationwide. I've seen many KOAs before. And this particular one, you'll see right here where it says RV. That is a big screen, okay, a drive-in theater. What they've done is they've converted a drive-in movie theater into an RV park. So apparently, you can come here, you can park your RV, and you can, as they say, from your rig, from your camper, you can watch movies. So it's still operational. That is fantastic. Great idea, I think. I love movies. But what did I notice here to there? So what do we do? So we know that this is at 382 Church Street, right? So if we come over here and we take this and we click here, right? And let's come over here and we're going to put KOA, KOA, what was that place called? RV, right here. That's Colorado. And we're going to do Sutherland. It's not coming up. It's not coming up. What do we have to do here to get it up? Sutherland. Here we go. It's this one right here. Boom. Okay. And we're not even going to drive it. We're going to walk it. Right? We're going to walk it. So notice when you do this and you map this out, it's going to tell you immediately 1.3 miles. Okay. So you're going to come. Now look, you're coming in the middle of the campground and you're coming down the road and you're going all the way down this road and then right here. Right? So if we were to, let's back up and change it just a little bit. What we're going to do is this. We're going to cut that out, and we're going to just mark about, let's just say right here, okay? Where are we going to do this? Right there. We'll put it right there, all right? And we'll direction ourselves back from KOA, Sutherland. There it is. And we're walking again, as you can see, 1 mile. Okay, 1 mile. Now, here's the thing. It looks like this is a neighborhood, so you don't want to cut through somebody's yard, so you probably would have to walk along this road, but it's a mile away. So it's a brisk walk, 15, 20 minutes. If you're parked on this RV, probably not as long because it's got you right in the middle. But it's not that far, 1 mile. Drive, be really, really easy, right? So let's get back in there. So when we talk about this, I know what Jay mentions, and she talks about the Church Road. It is on Church. Allegedly, I believe I even heard it the night he said, Chris Proudfoot telling Seth, if you want to find your son, go to church. We don't know with the way he speaks if he's talking, actually getting into a church and praying, if he's trying to use code, all this being alleged, although we did hear him say it. But you can see there's several churches here, and that's called Church Road. Okay? You have the RV here. I thought that was very interesting. And then the lay of the land, you're looking at right at this pond, because allegedly this is where the encounter happened, around this pond. All right? So you have a set of trees right here. You have a little bit here. And then if you want to go behind it, you've got a big stretch of woods here and a lot of open land, okay? A lot of open land. So what is the thought process here, right? Thinking out of the box and what's going on here. As we say, it is being taken very seriously. As Jay has reported, and I believe in her most recent video, link will be in the description, another or two people connected with this in Oregon. So here's where we start questioning things and we start saying, could this be, right? So let's take again Forge Pond. Let's do The address we all know, not sharing anything no one doesn't know, where Sebastian was last seen, allegedly, his home, and we do a map. Now, we're not going to walk that, so we better put that into a car. And I think somebody did say already 36 hours. Not sure if that was on Jay's channel. I believe it was. But so 36 hours from Hendersonville, Tennessee to there. Basically, just a little bit of the country left over here. You're pretty much going from one coast to the next. So, what we want to discuss at this point is this. Here's the question. With that, little promotion. Let's do a little promotion. Silver's on the scene. Just joking there. How did that come up and what happened there? Let's get that out of there. Okay, so, but here's the thing I want to bring up. Let there be no distraction in finding Sebastian. So follow me here. You ever see the movie Jurassic Park? We're talking about movies. We're talking about the RV park. It has a drive-in theater there, and I like movies. Jurassic Park. In the first Jurassic Park, you learn about the raptors. We all heard of T-Rex. We learn about the raptors. And what does a raptor do? They hunt in packs. What does that mean? If you remember from the movie, you're staring at a raptor. He's looking right in front of you. So you've got this dinosaur you know that can just jump you and eat you, and you're watching his move because you're what is he going to do, right? Is he going to attack? Is he going to jump? So you're watching. And as you're watching, the other raptor comes from the side and grabs you. That's called a distraction technique. Watch me at the north while someone attacks you from the east. Watch me from the west as someone attacks you from the south. What do I mean by all this? What do I mean by all this? Before I go any further, let me say, alleged in my opinion, and let me say, as I've already said, great reporting by Jay. And what we've learned about an alleged sighting, not only a sighting, but a communication, a conversation with the Proudfoots, 36 hours away, 2,427 miles. Here's the distraction part. While we're all looking here, could something be going on here? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Could there be, and this is just a what if, just trying to keep open minds and think about everything. And this actually came to me today. I was replying to emails, and in replying to someone's email, and we've communicated several times. They've got good theories and stuff. And I'm thinking and I'm going, they had asked me specifically, what do you think about Oregon? And I'm typing it, and it kind of hit me that, just follow me here. So this is supposedly happened in March. Okay? Sebastian goes missing, as we all know, missing since February 26th, right? So this is just a few weeks, whether it's a few days or a few weeks. I don't know if we have the specific day, but it's in March. What do we know that we've seen with our own eyes in March? We know that at the later part of March, Katie and Chris went over to the Memphis area. We know this, right? Because they were there, they were RV, she had her car, he had his truck, he was allegedly going back to work. She went over there to be with him. A lot of uproar from the community because why did you leave your home? But more so in the area of Horn Lake, cars were driving by. Now, they were parked right on the front. So the first question I have when we talk about Oregon, well, the first thing when we talk about Oregon, I get excited. This could lead us right to Sebastian, right? Could he be in Oregon? Is that where he's been the entire time? Whether he's with someone that's watching him and he's alive and well, or whether he's unfortunately unalive, allegedly, and somewhere there that needs to be searched and recovered. So, but here's the thing. Here's the thing we have to think about. What if? So, the first question I have is, in the midst of all eyes on them, not realizing this was ever going to happen like this, tell me how Chris and Katie got from their home in Hendersonville or the RV when they were there in March. How did they get to Oregon? How did they get to Oregon? Did they hop on a plane? Did they drive? I'm not necessarily as questioning how they got there physically, like their mode of transportation, but ladies and gentlemen, at one point there were people driving by the RV, and maybe getting too rude. You shouldn't be rude like that, But what I'm saying is they were, bringing awareness to the Horn Lake people in Mississippi didn't know this boy was missing. And so then also part of the reason, allegedly, they left the home is because they felt, I don't know if you want to call it unsafe, but people were coming around, driving around the house and stuff. My question is this. I don't think anybody was watching them, and maybe that's the reason where we are 8 months from now. But you're telling me that whether it was for a day or several days, they made themselves all the way over to Oregon? That's question number one. Question number two. Now, no one in Oregon would have known at the time, probably, most likely, Sebastian was missing. It would have been contained around this area, right? Now it's kind of widespread, and we're doing our job. Thank you, everyone, spreading his name and saying his name and his awareness. So if you were in Oregon and this lady did have an encounter, of course you wouldn't know who they were. But then this comes my second question. If I'm going to take my son over here, allegedly, whether to stash him with someone, to hide him for whatever the reasons are, or to place him somewhere if he's no longer with us, why would I speak to anyone? Why would I, as the story goes, allegedly approach someone and make myself known, both husband and wife, stepdad and mom, and allegedly 2 others with them? Why would I make myself known? So then I come to that third question. If I'm taking my son here to hide him in either way, hide him unalive or hide him alive, wouldn't I want to get there, do it, and get back to where I'm not being missed, either in my hometown of Hendersonville or at my job site in Memphis or my RV in Horn Lake, Mississippi? So do you see where my questions are coming from? Okay? And that's why I say, let there be no distraction. Are we being distracted? Are we being distracted from finding this boy? Now, I'm not discrediting. I don't know who's made this report. I'm definitely not discrediting the creators that are reporting on it. No, Jay's doing great. We're just reporting what we know. I just pause for a moment because I go, how over here? What was law enforcement doing? Oh, they're over in Oregon. 3 weeks their kid's been missing and they're over in Oregon. How would you get away and no one know? And then lastly, if you're there to do something nefarious, let's say, allegedly, why would you want to speak to anyone? Now, let's stop and pause on that and go like this. If you want to distract us, if you want to do the distraction technique, then you find your way to Oregon and you purposely approach someone. You purposely let them see your face. You purposely speak to them. This is all my opinion, okay? My thoughts of why, right? Because look, I hope this lead works out. I hope any lead works out. If it takes you to Wisconsin, Minneapolis, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas, Sacramento, I hope any lead. You know me, I'm open. I just got to say, what doesn't flow with me is if I'm up here for any reason to get my son away from this area so he, quote unquote, may never be found, allegedly. Why would I make it known I'm there? And then that leads me to the third thing. So could that be a purposeful distraction? And then the third part. Could it be by whoever's making this report a distraction today? Let's pick a place. We all know that allegedly the parents of Proudfoot, Chris, went to the Washington area, right? Maybe even the Portland area. Good spot to choose. Hey, let's get someone to come forth and say they saw us there in March. Okay, so I'm throwing a lot of things out. I'm just saying this. When I say let there be no distraction for Sebastian, I mean it. Okay? Now, we also know, and we'll pause here for a minute, that the last lead thing we got was a post randomly from someone on Facebook. That person's been posting videos lately. Her last video was pretty bizarre. You know, we talk about allegedly and in our opinion, in my opinion, and what we believe and not a fact. Well, she just come out and said it. You can watch her video. You know who. I'm not going to bring up names, but she just come out and said it. I saw it last night that I'm not going to do any alleged. This is a fact, she says, and she says what she says, right? So-and-so is AM, right? And so anyway, but what I'm saying is we have to follow leads. But like the raptor standing north of me, I'm focused on him. Then his partner comes from the east side and takes me out. And I never see it coming. So, hey, Michael, look to the right while all the action's going on the left. Right? Hey, maybe you should go northwest, when in actuality we should be looking at southeast. So, what does this mean in the big scope of things, right? This is where you get to, what does this mean in the big scope of things? This is what it means. This is what it means. All right, let's go back to this. Wrong one. Let's go back to, let me find it here, this. Okay, so what does this mean? It's a great lead. It's a great lead. And this is where I want to get into my little speech. As I mentioned before, it takes all of us. So, 8 people go out, and there's 8 different directions. All 8 can work on the same direction at the same time and then clear the 8, or those 8 can split up and go in 8 different directions, right? So, while this lead needs to be followed, and it looks like it is outside the box. I mean, who would have thought 2,400 miles away from his home, 36 hours away from his home? When I talked about outside the box a few videos ago, I was only talking a few hundred miles, not thousands of miles. So there you go. That's that outside the box. It could be legit. There's an RV park a mile down the street. You saw the map. There's plenty of area, be it the pond, in the water, or around it with the trees. So it's definitely possible. But we also need to continue searching areas that we believe around his home, possibly still around the RV park, several hundred miles outside the state, be that Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, let's just don't get distracted, okay? Picture it like this. We hear the Oregon thing. Everybody jumps in the car or on a plane and we go to Oregon, and no one's looking anywhere else. So for the people that are going there and look, go do that. That is what needs to happen. Verify those people that are talking. Make sure they're telling the truth. These really happen. And if they were there in March, why? Were they there so this story would come out now, 7 months later? Were they there to cause a distraction way back then, so we're distracted now? Did they go there thinking, okay, then he's got to be there, but the whole time he went southeast? A lot of confusion, right? So let's just make sure that we don't get distracted and we keep a strong focus on Sebastian, right? Strong focus on Sebastian. And but I do say that RV park being there, very odd. Very odd. Hopefully someone will make contact with that RV park and find out where they staying there. And apparently, allegedly, there were 2 other people with them. So who could it be that had their names there? So I just wanted to look at the map. As you saw, I wanted to show that immediately the RV park will go back. Let's go back to Ford's. Let's zoom back in there. Let's take it to the street too. Right? Okay. So there's your pond. Okay, that's something I meant to do earlier. Apologize. You can see an RV right here. Okay, so there's your pond. There's your church. Go to church. You see all these woods here. Okay, let's back out and see exactly where we are. Let's zoom down. Okay, Ford's Pond. Here we go. I've lost it. I've lost it. I knew one day I would lose it. Here it is right here. Okay. All right. So we're back to where we can see an overhead view. And it looks like where we had that mapped, we were right there. Let's just come right here. And we'll mark there. There we go. And let's do a street view there. So look, wide open lands. Wide open lands. Definitely needs to be checked. Here's the pond from an access. Look at this. So there's an access trail that goes around. That's a big pond. That's a big pond. So definitely a possibility. Thank you again, Jay. Crime Time Buzz. Check the link below in the description. Thank you so much for reporting this. Like I said too, I can verify that people are on this. They're going after it, and I think that's great. It is outside the box. You know, RV parks nearby. I just want to know how. How did they get away to get there if they were there? And then, of course, why? Was Sebastian with them? You know, one of the theories, allegedly, in my opinion, I thought about this is, you know, the whole with the parents going to their trip to, whether it was Alaska or Washington, it's all in that area. Chris had to come get the RV, take it back to them. Is it a possibility Sebastian was still alive and he went with those parents up there, and then a few days later we're looking at the RV in Horn Lake and there's two cars out front, so they must be inside, but yet they're actually on a plane to Sutherland, Oregon, to where they meet up with Sebastian. Plans then to, place him with someone or do something even worse. All alleged. I mean, these are possibilities, right? These are possibilities. I just think it would be very difficult to get away with all that. But at the same time, if you plan meticulously, then it happens. It happens. So there it is. That's my part. Let's get back here. We've got $175,000 reward. Get that motivation out. Talk to families. Talk to friends. I'm sure there's people in all these areas we're discussing, whether you're in Oregon, whether you're in Hendersonville, Gallatin, Westmoreland, Horn Lake, Mississippi, South Haven, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, anywhere between Memphis and Hendersonville, Georgia, Alabama, the rest of Mississippi, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, all these areas. Let's keep our eyes open for Sebastian Rogers. Have you seen me? All eyes on deck. Keeping the awareness alive. That's how we find him. Keeping the awareness alive. Okay? So, hope this helps. Like I said, Crime Time Buzz. Link in the description there. Check it out. Doing great reporting. Getting these things. You know, one of the best things about Jay is she gets this right there as soon as it happens. And then you have other creators. You got Bullhorn Betty following up. You know, how did I know about the the additional $50,000 to make it $175,000? How did I know about this? I saw it on Bullhorn Betty's channel. Way to go, Betty, doing a great job, reporting great. Stand with her against her fight for what I consider injustice in her case. Clutch them pearls. Justin doing great work. Mr. E, Mrs. E, Auntie doing great work. Dolly's always out there. JLR's out there. All these people doing really good work. These are just the ones that come to mind. There's a ton of others that are helping. And you come back to the question, why would you ever distract from finding this beautiful boy? Gone 8 months, 10 days, 253 days. We need to find him and bring him home. Right? We need to find him and bring him. And you go find him. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. I don't know if people understand the reward that well, but so let me tell you. You're 1,000 miles away and you know where Sebastian is. You're 1,000 miles away and you know who has him or where his body may be found. Here's your tip line. No one says you have to get in the car, get on a plane, and get there and say, hey, here he is. Call it in. Call it in. Make the tip. Receive your reward. You bring Sebastian home. And then if you can be boots on the ground like we do, get out there with us. Start searching with us. We're more than happy to have as many. And as we're doing that, and someone's searching in one area, someone else is searching in another area. Okay, that way we're not distracted. All focused on one spot. Let's split up together. I say it when I reply to a lot of emails. I say some of the standard things, which is, together we will bring Sebastian home. So keep watching. Keep your eyes open. Say his name. Share his flyer so we can bring Sebastian Rogers home to his family where he belongs. Let there be no distraction in finding Sebastian. There it is. Now we have a new lead. We had the 27.27 miles recently. Now we have Oregon. Tomorrow we may have another. Let's attack them all, and let's get out there and let's ask questions. And let's not get distracted on finding Sebastian. Thank you very much. I'm jumping off here. Please leave some comments. Thank you for all the comments that are coming out. Any questions, email me, silversonthescene@yahoo.com. I have an email now waiting on me. Someone wants to give information. Can't wait to see what that is. Follow up on the search. I'll throw this in at the end. I still have the phone. The phone is something that I got to be careful who I put that in the hands of before I verify what is actually on the phone. Because if it's not anyone's phone related to Sebastian, then it doesn't matter. Tons of people going down that road. You've probably got somebody who was mad or upset or jealous or whatever. Toss that phone right out the car. Then again, it could be some evidence that was trying to be tossed away too. More to come on that. Thank you very much. Have a great Tuesday evening. The rest of your week, great. Say his name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Missing, gone, 8 months, 10 days. Let's bring him home. Thank you for everything. And as Silver's on the scene, stay tuned. More to come. Thank you. Have a great evening.